If you're being harassed in the workplace, what should you do? Well, first of all, that answer depends on what kind of harassment you're facing. For example, are you being harassed in a way that references your sex or your race or your religion or other protected statuses such as that? In that case, the harassment that you're facing is likely going to be illegal. And your next steps in that case are different than, say, if the harassment is just the result of a supervisor or a manager who is a jerk and says rude things that don't have any connection to any of those protected statuses. Unfortunately, there's no law against being an awful manager or an awful supervisor or even being mean to your employees. It's not great business practice, but there's no law against it. So one thing you need to determine is what is the nature of the harassment that you are experiencing. Because if your harasser is just a jerk, but it doesn't have anything to do with any protected status, then what you may do in response would be different than if one of those protected statuses was involved. Now, regardless of what kind of harassment you're facing, it should be unacceptable to your employer. So what can you do about it? Well, first of all, the number one most important thing, regardless of the kind of harassment, regardless whether you think it's illegal or not, what you should do is document everything. And when I say everything, I mean every single day, anytime there's a harassing incident, you need to document it yourself. You don't have to report it to anybody yet, just keep a record for yourself. Now, the best way to do that, and what we tell our clients, is use your personal email account, not your work email account, your personal email account, and write yourself an email at the end of each day. And in that email, summarize exactly what happened that day with as much detail as possible. Direct quotes, if possible, if any witnesses were present, what any other people said, what you said, write it all down, because I guarantee weeks from now, months from now, they're all going to run together and you're going to forget. So write it down, address it to yourself, nobody else, and click send on that email. Now, why are we doing that? Well, first of all, as I said, it's when your memory is fresh. So you want to keep that information written down while your memory is fresh. But second of all, if down the road you decide that you want to take this to HR, or heaven forbid down the road you need to pursue litigation, you're going to have written documentary evidence right at the time these events occurred to depend on. And that's going to be much more reliable than your memory months down the road or years down the road. So this is a useful thing to do in any situation, regardless whether you're going to do anything about it, report it to HR, or just decide that you're going to leave the company and get a different job. It doesn't matter. This hurts no one. It can only protect you. So be sure to document what's going on. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and be sure to click the link below if you want further information.